In today's video we will discuss the top 10 athletes sidelined by serious injuries. Please make sure you subscribe to the Top 10 Jaw-Dropping Facts channel. New episodes are released Monday through Friday. Number 10. Tiger Woods. To start his career, Woods was on pace to shatter every golf record imaginable. He won the Open Championship 3 times, the US Open 3 times, the PGA Championship 4 times, and the Masters Tournament 4 times. Woods also broke the Guinness World Record for the most money annually for an athlete in history. However, after an infidelity issue in 2009, Woods fell mentally out of the game. He eventually suffered numerous back problems. He has also torn his ACL and had trouble with both Achilles tendons. He never seemed to stop getting athlete injuries that completely hindered his career. From 2008 to 2017, he has had 6 major operations to fix problems including ACL repair and numerous back surgeries. Woods has been playing golf throughout the injury issues. However, severe athlete injuries like this would cause most to retire in any other sport for sure. Woods made a great comeback in 2019 by winning his 5th Masters tournament, his first major tournament win in a decade. He has clearly not been the same Tiger of old since his litany of injuries. Number 9. Earl Campbell. Campbell had an amazing collegiate career at SMU before arriving in the NFL, where he completely dominated his first few seasons. He came to the league in the 1978 NFL Draft and led the league in rushing immediately. From his rookie year in the 1978 to 1979 season to the 1980 to 1981 season, he led the league in rushing for 3 straight years. This allowed Campbell to become a 3-time NFL Offensive Player of the Year and 3-time first-team All-Pro selection. His over 1,900 yards rushing allowed him to even become the 1979 NFL MVP too. However, he would get injured in 1982 and play only 9 games. Throughout his career, he had several knee and back injuries. Both of his knees have since been replaced, and he has even had around 5 back surgeries. Overall, after his injury year in 1982, he was never quite the same. Campbell would retire due to the multiple injuries piling up, much earlier than he would have had he been healthy. Number 8. Bernard King. King was known to be, for his time, one of the best scorers to ever play the game. He was nearly impossible to stop. King averaged around 22 points per game for his entire career. Outside of his 2 missed seasons due to injury, he often put up even more than this. King even led the league in scoring in the 1984 to 1985 with 32.9 points per game. He'd have 4 All-Star appearances and land on the All-NBA first team twice during his career. However, he blew out his knee just 1 year after being the scoring leader. He missed the majority of the 1985 to 1986 season and did not even play a full season the following year. King struggled to get back to his old form until his last big scoring year in 1991 when he put up a little over 28 points per game. Sadly, injuries destroyed his career and cost him from being likely the greatest scorer of the 80s. He retired with over 19,000 points, which put him on the top 25 scorers list, despite calling it a career early. Number 7. Jay Williams. Williams was one of the best collegiate basketball players ever. As the point guard for the Duke Blue Devils, he led them to an NCAA championship in 2001, and he even won the National Player of the Year award in 2002. Both in 2001 and 2002, he was voted a consensus first-team All-American. This made him a natural choice to go number 1 overall in the 2002 NBA draft to the Chicago Bulls. He had an okay rookie year, but in the following offseason, tragedy struck. Williams was riding a motorcycle, against contractual rule by the way, when he crashed. The incident resulted in Williams suffering 3 dislocated ligaments in his left knee, including his ACL. He also sustained a fractured pelvis and severed a main nerve in his leg. The Bulls decided to release him when they took Kirk Hinrich in the 2003 NBA draft, and legally did not have to pay him anything upon his release due to violating his deal. However, they paid him $3 million upon his release to help with his recovery. Number 6. Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey Jr. was one of the most popular players of his time, but dealt with injuries most of his career, especially the last decade. He had left knee and hamstring injuries, both of which required surgery, and also a broken wrist. The results of these injuries took down what he could contribute. In spite of this, he managed to accumulate 2,781 total hits, 630 career home runs, and 1,836 career RBIs. He's a 13-time All-Star, 10-time Golden Glove Award winner, and a 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Griffey is also a 4-time AL home run leader, and led the AL in RBIs in 1997, and won the AL MVP in 1997. Just think, if Griffey never suffered from injuries during his 22-year career, he may have gone down as the greatest baseball player of all time. This is likely why he was voted in on the first ballot into the 2016 Baseball Hall of Fame with 99.3% of the vote, among the highest in history. Number 5. Sterling Sharpe. Sharpe was, at one point, thought to be one of the best wideouts in the NFL. However, one of the most notable athlete injuries ever caught up with him. Sharpe came into the NFL highly touted, and for good reason. For the first part of his career, he lived up to expectations with the Green Bay Packers. Sadly, he only played from 1988 to 1994 due to a neck injury. In his career, he had 5 seasons with over 1,000 receiving yards, and nearly had a 6th, 1991's 961-yard year. Sharpe managed to lead the league in receiving touchdowns twice, and led the league in receptions 3 times. He was even voted first-team All-Pro 3 times, and made 5 Pro Bowls. The aforementioned neck injury was very serious. His doctor told Sharpe that if he injured his neck once more, he'd risk being paralyzed. He then chose to retire and now operates as an analyst for the NFL Network. Number 4. Grant Hill. Hill was poised to become one of the greatest forwards the NBA had ever seen. After having a spectacular collegiate run at Duke where he won 2 NCAA championships, he jumped to the NBA. Hill was picked 3rd overall by the Detroit Pistons in the 1994 NBA Draft, and took league by storm right away. From 1994 to 2000, he averaged around or over 20 points per game. This run led to 5 NBA All-Star appearances, an All-NBA first-team honor, and 4 All-NBA second-team honors. Hill injured his ankle late in his last year with the Pistons, but it became a huge issue upon his trade to Orlando. This resulted in several surgeries to try and fix it. From 2000 to 2007, Hill was only able to play in a grand total of 200 games out of a possible 492, not including playoffs. He missed nearly 3 complete seasons as well. Hill remained in the NBA for years despite this, and became a sort of valued veteran bench player. This is a far cry from what his potential career could have been, however. Number 3. Bobby Orr. Talk about athlete injuries that killed a massive career. Orr was considered by many to be among the best to ever play the sport of hockey. Orr is known by most to be the greatest defenseman in the history of hockey. Not only could he defend, but he could also score quite well. From 1969 to 1975, Orr managed to be responsible for over 100 points each of those seasons. In the 1970 to 1971 season alone, he had 102 assists and 37 goals scored. Both are still records for a defenseman in the NHL. He is an 8-time NHL All-Star, 8-time James Norris Trophy winner, 2-time Art Ross Trophy winner, and 3-time Hart Memorial Trophy winner, or even won 2 Stanley Cups. Sadly, he had severe knee injuries that resulted in 12 different knee surgeries, or played only 12 years as a result, and had to retire by 30. The Hockey Hall of Fame waived their normal 3-year waiting period, and put her into the 1979 class at just 31 years old, the youngest ever to be enshrined. Number 2. Penny Hardaway. Hardaway had one of the brightest futures of any NBA player ever. Like Magic Johnson before him, was a tall point guard who could score and pass better than most. Penny started off his career quite well, and from 1993 to 1998 he was able to average 16 to 20 points per game. This included nearly 2 or 3 steals per game. He became a 4-time All-Star due to his incredible run, and even became a 2-time All-NBA first-team selection. Along with his then Orlando Magic teammate, Hardaway was able to make it to the NBA Finals once too. Sadly, a knee injury derailed his career. This resulted in 4 left knee surgeries with another microfracture knee surgery. He was never quite the same after the initial knee problem, and the ones that followed only made things worse. Number 1. Bo Jackson. When you talk infamous athlete injuries, Jackson should be near the top of the list for you. He was a dual-sport athlete that could have been a huge star in just one if he chose. However, he put his body through a lot every year as he played in both the MLB and NFL at the same time. This resulted in his career in both being pretty short. Jackson is the only man in history to have been an All-Star in both the NFL and MLB. His NFL career saw him reach 2,782 yards rushing and 16 TDs total in 4 seasons. Meanwhile, his MLB career saw him reach 141 home runs and 415 RBIs on a .250 batting average over 9 seasons. 1 complete season missed. Jackson's NFL career ended when his hip popped out of place on a huge hit in 1990. Resulting in a hip replacement surgery. Jackson tried to return to the majors but never could reach where he was before the surgery. He was retired from both by the end of 1994. I hope you enjoyed our top 10 athletes sidelined by serious injuries. Please leave a comment below for any athlete you think we missed or you think should have been placed on the list. Don't forget to subscribe to the Top 10 Jaw-Dropping Facts channel, and new episodes come out every Monday through Friday.